When I started this linear series, this drawing series, it was basically questioning this whole notion of what you see. So I started to look at these old illustrations. They could be colonial, where very faithfully they kind of try to document species, plants or animals, insects. They gave me a very good source of inspiration to work on. I wanted to go a little beyond that, so I started going into the inside literally. Looking at it becomes very abstract when you start dwelling into things that you normally don't see, like the anatomy, human form, the anatomical forms, the cells, microscopic level, things become magnified, almost abstract. Then looking at integrating aspects of life in general, like the insect world, animal world, plant world, almost like a naturalist or a botanist, would do. It was from an existential crisis also, like who am I, what am I doing in this planet, what is life about, depending on what you seek for your source of inspiration. I consider these like cosmoses, like a cosmos, like the whole entire world is in it.
Here I thought that I am studying a scientific realism. In restoration there is a part, what is called reconstruction. But what is the rhythm of his life? At what point it turns?
The sole part of study is what I say.
That's a prerequisite.
So I found very fascinated with the area, alienated area here. The space is also like, at some point of time, there will be memory of this. There will be, people will be talking about there were these things and these things, factories and all, old histories. I think people stays in histories. There were like little bit interventions. In this case, like there is a sort of chemical reaction effect. So I started about thinking of human condition of existence. So I started relating it to it. So in different sort of objects which are mundane, alienated objects. So I started shooting it, putting into my works. I like erasing stuff. Like I don't know, maybe my temperament is associated through destructive notions. I don't know. So what was interesting was a sense of dramatic situations in that landscape. So even though it is very bizarre in a sort, there will be a stick which is coming into landscape and which performs there somewhere, I feel. Vegetation, I found it was too dramatic in a way that they are frozen somewhere, and I built a sort of relations through this charcoal works. This area is very chemically affected and nobody can drink water. Somewhere I found relations.
I use the palm print as a base. When I apply color on my hand, sometimes it's light, sometimes it's dark, sometimes. So it is quite free flowing. I started creating multiple imprints and then seeing what that gave me. And then I draw out the lines, and as I'm drawing, I found that the lines take on their own shape. In some sense, it is random. I don't consciously determine how I do the lines. Every time I pick up the brush and I don't erase any lines. So whichever line comes, it just comes and it stays there. And it makes it mark and it's there. If it's thick, it's thick. If it's thin, it's thin, and so on and so on. Overall, there is cohesion, but there's no order. Generally, you think it's very abstract, it's just lines. But that's what I find fascinating about lines. Like, what is form after all? It's just a joining of lines. If you don't look at the hand as a hand and only look at the surface of the hand, it looks very abstract. But when you start drawing, you can actually start seeing figures in them. There are forms of birds and fish and a man sticking his tongue out. In my eyes, it's a bird and it's a man sticking his tongue out. Somebody else looked at it and said something else altogether. So that I find fascinating, how they are only lines, but lines when joined together, different people can see different things.
There's a strong persona, which is an extension of me. I mean, you have many personas in one. I think sophistication of thought does that thing really important.
I used to not draw, but I used to
Erase.
erase it.
How many errors? Find me all the errors that you can.
There's something quite maniacal about this.
Yeah.
There's mania with it.
I have done British art. I have studied Madhubani. I have studied Mughal. I have studied Japanese miniature. And I've removed this from my head. This act of the beauty inspector. What am I? I'm the embodiment of the European idea, and I fail you. I'm not bullying any individual. I'm bullying Europe now. So it's different. It's like if I actually think of in school or how we were asked to do memory drawing, balloon man, monkey man, railway station. So clinically drawn. Imagine a Britisher came to archive India. What would one see? If you ask me to do a memory drawing as an adult artist today, I get scared to do the drawing because I will not know how much of detail to pump into that, and that image will be very dirty. If I ask you to do a memory drawing of 1992, what would you draw? So I would draw the riots. Then I boiled it down to new medium, new idea. And I said, let's do a story that I asked my grandmother. The neighbor was Awazi auntie, who was a neighbor, who was a Muslim. And they never fought. She didn't say Hamare or Unme. So I just feel like it's a mirror to how I see how weak we are, maybe. Of how easily I can influence you. How easy it is. I've just written the word correct. This validation is also validation. It's also like, yes, we have accepted it as something. Like if you give this out and give this to anybody, if I write 90